Welcome to Kind of Future International. We are here we are privileged today to have one of our guests, who is Nyambura, who is a person who was in the process of, he has already recovered from the process of drugs, and we want to hear her view and her story today, so that at least we know the problems which all these people are facing, and to at least to question each and every person who also intend or is also already in on that problem of drugs, how they can be able to come out of it, and we can be able to know how the journey of Catherine is going to be. So welcome viewers, and our guest today is Mrs. Catherine Nyambura. There she is. So nitamwambia introduce na aweze kusalimia. Welcome viewers.
Thank you. I'm grateful and I'm humbled to be sharing my story of strength and hope, how it was and what happened and how it is like now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Welcome to our Kind of Future International. So today we have several questions. We want you to assist us to know what really happened and how this problem is. First of all, can you tell us a bit about you before drugs became part of your life?
For me, I can say that I was born in a very strict Christian family, because my family are people who are very religious, and they have anarchy in the church. But for me, I'm the black sheep because I really rejected church when I started growing up, because when I became a teenager, I was introduced to drinking by one of my friends, and that really was a problem in my family. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Catherine. And after maybe that introduction of how you were introduced into drinking, was there something pressuring you to do something of that nature or something? Or what caused you to start thinking that I need to venture into this drinking attitude?
Yeah, for me, I can say my life was unmanageable because I was a young mother when I started drinking. I was really mad because of my life, because the rest of my age mates were in school when I was taking care of my son. So I was very depressed, and I wanted people to validate me. And that's why I chose to follow that group of people that were drinking, because it was a me party, and I felt that I was not the only one who had problems. We were there sharing our problems and saying the way the world is so cruel.
Okay, so that means as what you have just mentioned is that the pregnancy which you got at your teenage is what forces you now, because you really need to realize that majority of your classmates have gone to school. Here you're left alone at home, so you don't have somebody to help you to even navigate how to be able to take care of these kids. So that should be now the inception of you having this kind of drugs. Can you say that's the cause of that kind of depression, which you are alone, you have a kid here you need to take care of, and you don't have maybe a supportive person to help you to do that? Was that the inception of the drugs?
Yes, because in our society today, when you give birth at an early age, you become like an outcast, you see. And I was the firstborn, and so my family had high hopes, and I was clever, and I dropped out in school for second term.
Oh, it was unfortunate.
It was very unfortunate because I had only remained one term, and now I was feeling guilty because now I'm young, I'm not working, my parents are taking care of my son, and in the society, in my dreams, I expected to do a big wedding like the other ladies, but for me it was contrarily different.
I can see the problem there. That's now to start thinking a lot about how your future will be, because now since you have just seen you have somebody taking care of that.
Yes.
A kid is not a joke right now, because if at all you're a kid and you don't have maybe a business or maybe work somewhere, you can go, it can become a challenge. And can you describe the lowest, what was your life during the height of the addiction? How were you relating with the kids then? And how was, let's say, your people took it, how that now you have already started drinking and you already have a small kid you're taking care of. Were you still breastfeeding when you were drinking?
Okay, when I started drinking, my son by then was 3 years, but mine was seriously drinking because I drank daily for 20 years and using drugs. So,
if I may ask, where are you getting money to drink with then? And yet maybe you're not somewhere employed or something?
For me, I can say if you're an addict or an alcoholic, you get whether you have money or not.
You get friends who are also in drinking and they buy you one too.
They buy you. I could go to even a bar and order for drinks, then I would come and pay. Kukopeshwa, nilikuwa na kitabu. And I think it's a demonic spirit. So you find other people whom you are sharing the same spirit with who do not want you to stay without a drink or a drug. So for me, it was not a problem. I've never lacked a drink or a drug for those 20 years.
In that kind of cocoon.
Yeah, in that kind of life. And it was terrible because now I started I ran away from home and went to live now with other ladies who were drinking, who are my drinking buddies.
In that kind of friendship.
Yeah, because according to my family, I would have not gone out and drink and come home. My mother really beat me because she was a church lady, so I had to just go and live on my own. Yeah.
Okay, that's very good news to hear from you. Can you describe one of the lowest or most painful moments you endure when you are still in that kind of drug, taking alcohol?
My lowest moments were when I found myself that I could drink and sleep in a bar or in a den, like 1 week without even going to shower, even not even leaving that place. It really affected me because when I looked at myself and I'm dirty, I just remembered that even my mother had goats and they had a shelter. And me, I'm struggling here. I want to buy beer. Sengine unafukuzwa, toka, and still you're insisting. I'm still insisting. I want to be in a bar. Those were my lowest moments because being bullied in a bar, and it's because of a drug of my choice, and I was not born using it.
Which is that very strange, because it reminds me of a story in the Bible about the prodigal son who decided to say, Dad, I want to give me my stuff, I want to get out, and go there, and whenever she went, she took part in all those kind of sprees, call them sprees, because he had money and he did everything he could, but later realized that when the money ended, now he had to go and start looking for ways of sustaining himself by either taking care of the goats and the pigs to someone else. But remember, his dad is wealthy, who can be able to give him all these resources and without even caring or even telling him, can you do? But in this case, this is where your turning point came about, yeah? How did you start your recovery? Okay, what finally made you to say, I need to change?
Okay, what made me want to change, because during these 20 years, my mother passed on.
Oh, sorry.
And I would have missed her funeral because I was drinking. And someone came and gave me a message and told me that, Catherine, show up at home because your mother is going to be buried tomorrow. That one shook me because I saw how unworthy I was. I wanted to die. And so I started now wanting to change, but I didn't know how. But really deep in my heart, I started now realizing I was not a normal person. Yeah, I needed help. And by the grace of God, I was rescued by a social worker. And now he's the one who sponsored me, and I was taken to rehab.
That's great.
Yes.
And out of that rehab, the period you were in rehab, did you ever think of maybe want to go back?
Okay, when I went to rehab, and I was introduced to a 12-step program, and this is a Narcotic Anonymous. And in rehab, I had a counselor, and nilikuwa na daktari, psychiatrist, and I had sessions with them, and they told me that the problem that I had is that I had made alcohol and drugs my God. That was the only problem, that if I turn back to God, all those unfinished business, that poverty, that self-hatred would end, because I'm created in the image of God, and I was destroying God's temple.
Which is very good. That's a very good inner calling.
Yes.
For you at that particular time. And what was the beautiful part of your life after addiction? That is now after you've seen, you want to see the changes. I decided to go to rehab. You have already completed your rehab. What was the beautiful thing after that you saw?
The beautiful thing is that now I came to know I have a God. I was told to look for a God of my own understanding, whom I consider now the God of my own understanding as God, my creator. And that God is not a harsh God the way I knew in religion, that there is a punishing God, that I'm a sinner, that I deserve that kind of bad life because I gave birth in an early age. My life was unmanageable. But by the grace of God, during this period when I got clean and sober, I was able to go back to school and joined adult education, went to Form 3 and did my O-level 2018, which I would have done it 28 years before. So for me, I can say that those were my moments
that
in
your life that you remember that after that you've really achieved something.
I have achieved something, because I used to feel bad that natumia living certificate ya class 8. Siwezi ambia mtu nilifika Form 4 second term, it was not making sense, singepata kazi. But now at least I feel good. Nimeweza kufanya several courses, and naweza care, drug substance abuse prevention and rehabilitation. I was able to do a course with Nakada. I'm a recovery coach.
Okay, what message can you give to people who are also having the same stigma, the same problem of drugs addiction, and how can you show them the way out? Because some may not be aware how to get out of it. Maybe through you came through a friend who showed you the way after the demise of your parent, one of your parents. But now in this case, assume somebody has not seen that there's a turning point somewhere where you need to start changing and say, okay, from me I need to stop the kind of thinking I'm taking on every day, and I want to sober up and start a new life.
Okay, for me I can say the people who have started drinking, there's a solution. Yes, we do recover. If for me, I can say I've recovered, and I'm now seated here sharing my story. There is hope. And for those people who have not started, because I was told alcoholism and addiction is a mental disease, and you can't know how it will affect you, and it is progressive, because I started drinking in a cool manner, but I ended up being an addict. So I can just tell them that they take care. If they have not started, don't drink, don't drug, because drinking and drugging is not a swag. You look cool when you're starting, but it's a demonic spirit, and it really damages first the mental, the physical, the spiritual, and the social. And now you become a black sheep, and you start complaining that people hate you, but it's because I took myself to the dark world. But I'm grateful that
you already came out from that darkness. That's a very nice story and a very inspiring story for Catherine. And I believe other people still are having the same problems. We would want to encourage people to see the importance of leaving such kind of addictions, because addiction will not change the way you want life to be, wherever, if at all you are somebody using drugs, maybe alcohol, maybe bang, maybe cigarettes and all this, they just lull your mind for a while, but later you come to realization that you could have done better, and also the time which you'll spend doing all those things, you realize is that Catherine is talking about 28 years of which she could have completed her high school. Now you can imagine from that period of 28 until later start fresh, to be able to start your life again is a long process and is a long period. And if you are doing something which can really improve your life, 28 years you can really do a lot, and you can really change the society, the way people think about you and all that. So here in Kinda Future, we are trying to sort this problem out, and that's why we want people to partner with us so that we can solve this problem, because it's a menace to the society. And if you look at, like here in our country, you normally see every weekend people are drinking crazy, and this problem of drinking is really going to affect a lot of people. So we rather embrace each and every person so that we can show them the way and how to stop this problem of alcoholism and drug addiction. You have heard Catherine's story, and we here as Kinda Future International, we are so happy to have her to host us so that we can be able to enable people to know what the problems people are facing outside here as a result of drugs. We have a lot of stories with her. We have maybe another session whereby you're able to hear more about her endeavors.